Hi, today I want to talk to you about goals. If it's all about results, then goals are going to be really important. We all know if we don't set goals, we can't achieve the results, or we certainly can't meet them. It's funny because a lot of times people will set goals that are really results. People will say, okay, well, my goal this week is I'm going to lose 2 pounds. And I think, you don't get to control that. So the first thought would be that if you set goals, set them as things that you can control. You can control how many times you do your lunch. You can control how many glasses of water you drink. You can control that you plan your food, that you journal your food. You can actually make those goals. And if you do all of those things and achieve those goals, the results will come. That's for sure. Now, I don't know if you've ever heard of SMART goals. SMART goals are, and I'm going to have to kind of read this off here, but basically they're specific, they're measurable, they're attainable, they are relevant, and they are timely. What does it mean to say it's specific? Well, if you say, I'm going to do really well this week, that's such a broad thought. Okay, well, what does that mean? Can you narrow that down? Can you, itemize what it means to do really well? So you want to be specific. You want to say, I'm going to go to the gym 1 or twice this week, or I'm going to make my lunch every day this week. I'm going to pre-plan my food. I'm going to do some food prep on Sunday, and today's Sunday. So you want to be specific, and I'm going to tell you why. Because if they're specific, then you know if you've achieved it. If you don't know whether you've achieved it, you don't get to reward yourself for having done that. And we'll get to the rewards, next week or the week after. But the first thing is to set the goals. So specific, measurable, something that I can say, yes, I went to the gym twice. Check. I was able to measure it because, and if you didn't meet the goal, see, oftentimes it's just as important to analyze if you didn't meet the goal. Because if you didn't, now you can check what was missing. How could I have done better this week? So, SMART, specific, measurable, attainable. I'm going to tell you, I spent 4 days last week at the Obesity Canada Summit, and the recurring theme was basically that people make goals that are not attainable, or they achieve it once and then that's it. So take someone who never goes to the gym, going from 0 to 5 times a week in one fell swoop. The chances are that you might get it done the one time, but you might not be able to do it consistently every week. And now every time you don't meet that goal, it feels like a failure. I'm going to tell you, in the weight loss world, everything can feel like a failure in a heartbeat, in a hurry. So this notion of making your goals attainable is so important. The next one is relevant. And I'm going to tell you, in the weight loss world, we have this notion. I want to be a size 8. That's lovely. When was the last time you were a size 8? I was a size 8 when I was 20. Okay. Well, you're 45 or you're 55. Is that still relevant to you? And so I want you to start thinking about, are your goals relevant? Is it more important, say, as a grandmother, to be able to sit on the floor and play with my grandchildren as it is to fit in a size 8? So I want you to think of those. So I'm repeating, okay, SMART, specific, measurable, attainable, and attainable in a consistent way. Attainable. Relevant. Is this relevant? And the last one is timely. And timely, this is where we put in deadlines. I can assure you, if you don't set a deadline for you to achieve your goals, you're not going to achieve them. And once again, Let me remind you, the goal is not to lose 20 pounds by May 15th. That's a result. But the deadlines they can be a weekly deadline. By Friday, I have to have gone to the gym 2 times. I need to have made my lunch 3 times. So having those numbers that are timely, that are by Friday, that are by Sunday. By the time I go to bed tonight, I have to have prepped my lunches for the whole week. Those are deadlines that are so much more relevant, if I can use the term, than saying, I need to lose 20 pounds by the end of June. That is a great thought, but it's a result. And if you don't put in place something that is very specific as to how that's going to happen, how you're going to meet this result or get this result, that's very specific, measurable, attainable, and remember, attainable in a consistent fashion, relevant. Is it relevant to you? I'm going to tell you a little story, and people know I am full of stories. Last summer, I bought a bike. We just moved to a small town, and it seemed to me that all I wanted to do was get on a bicycle with my grandkids and my kids, and go on the bike path and go biking. So I found the bike. I actually Googled bicycles for grandmothers. You may laugh. And I found the perfect bike for me. The first time I took it, we biked all the way to the roundabout, and I fell. And I fell, basically, the way I fell, I hit my pelvis and felt it move. The second time was on my birthday at the end of June. And my kids had this thought, hey, this is great. We're all not working on that day. It was just kind of lining up. Anyways, so we decided we were going to go on a bike trip, small bike trip, and then we might have a picnic. This time I fell. I hit my head. I had a helmet, thank God. I broke the helmet, and I had a concussion. It's got to be relevant. When I say it's got to be relevant, I realize I don't have balance. I can't explain to you why. It's just a reality. I don't have balance. Is the bike relevant to me? It's not. So I have 2 choices. I either resell the bike, which makes me really, really sad because I want to be able to do this with my kids, or I get, yeah, you guessed it, training wheels. These are not really training wheels because I'm not trying to learn how to bike. I was once able to bike, but this will keep me upright and make it, less of a risk to fall. So when I say make it relevant, time has gone by. We have made, we have changed. I was having a conversation this week that basically said, in the last 7 years, every cell of your body has changed. You are no longer the same person that you were 7 years ago. Well, the last time I biked was 30 years ago, so that should give you some indication. So make them relevant. So I'm going to go through them again. SMART goals, they're specific, measurable, attainable in a consistent fashion, relevant, and timely. They have to have a deadline set to them. Otherwise, I'm going to tell you, we just have too many things competing for that time. So if you don't set a deadline, it's just not going to happen. The next thing you'll know, it'll be Tuesday, you'll go, I should have prepped on Sunday. Anyways, if you're thinking about how can you achieve the best results, you've got to engineer that. You've got to basically manufacture those results out of goal setting and decisions you make. And you'll have to do that every day. Guess what? For the rest of your life. If I've learned anything at the Obesity Canada Summit, is this is not a sprint. This is not even a marathon. This is you're getting on the treadmill and you don't get to come off. Otherwise, it's just going to come back. So no longer will I help people lose weight and keep it off. I'm going to help people lose weight and manage how much of it they're going to put back on. We're going to try and strive to have the minimal amount put back on, as opposed to some of the great regains that we've seen. So I wish you a great Sunday. Enjoy it. Enjoy. Sunday is one of the best days of the week. But believe me, if you don't plan today what you're going to eat the rest of the week, you're going to fall behind the 8 ball, and I don't want that for you. So have a great day. I love you. Mwah. Take care.